Welcome to a bone-chilling compilation of horror stories set in a haunting forest, presented completely for free. If you enjoyed these tales of terror, show your support by subscribing, liking, commenting, and sharing with your friends. Together, we'll embrace the darkness and unravel the mysteries that lie within the forest's depths. Now, let's embark on this spine-tingling adventure together. The Whispering Grove. Once a magnificent mansion, the Whispering Grove had long been abandoned, but its dark secrets still lingered within its walls. Four friends, Alex, Emily, Jake, and Sarah, decided to spend a thrilling weekend camping near the mansion in the dense forest. As the night set in, they gathered around a crackling campfire, sharing ghost stories and laughter. The forest was eerily quiet, the silence broken only by the distant hooting of an owl and the rustling of leaves in the wind. But soon, the wind picked up, carrying eerie whispers through the trees. The group laughed nervously, brushing off the unsettling sensation. But as the whispers grew louder and more sinister, fear began to creep into their hearts. Alex suggested they explore the mansion, assuming it was just the wind playing tricks on their imagination. Against their better judgment, the friends followed Alex into the crumbling building. Inside, they found decaying furniture, dusty portraits, and a chilling silence that seemed to consume them. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon a hidden passage leading to an underground chamber. There, they encountered a cursed artifact, an old, weathered book bound in dark leather. Intrigued by the strange symbols and drawings, Alex couldn't resist touching the book. As his fingers brushed the ancient pages, the air turned icy, and they heard echoing footsteps closing in. The friends realized they had awakened malevolent spirits. Panicking, they rushed back outside, only to find themselves surrounded by ghostly apparitions and terrifying creatures from the depths of the forest. Each creature fed on their fear, growing stronger with every scream and whimper. The friends realized that escaping the forest meant confronting their deepest fears and regrets. Emily, tormented by guilt, confronted a vengeful spirit seeking redemption for a past misdeed. Jake, driven by ambition, had to outwit a malevolent creature luring him into darkness and away from his friends. Sarah, battling her own insecurities, faced a sinister doppelganger reflecting her worst fears. As the night wore on, the forest's haunted entities grew more powerful. Only by sticking together and finding the strength to overcome their fears did they stand a chance of surviving. The friends mustered every ounce of courage and devised a plan to banish the malevolent spirits and creatures back into the darkness. The final confrontation was intense, with the friends using the cursed artifact to seal the entities away. As dawn broke, the forest seemed to heave a collective sigh of relief. The haunted mansion collapsed in on itself, and the eerie whispers faded into the distant wind. Exhausted but victorious, the friends emerged from the forest forever changed by their harrowing ordeal. They vowed never to forget the Whispering Grove and the hauntingly beautiful lesson it taught them. True strength lies in confronting one's fears and finding courage amidst the darkest shadows. The Haunting Melody. As the talented violinist, Isabella, arrived at the remote forest cabin, she felt an immediate connection with the serene surroundings. She hoped the tranquility would inspire her to compose a masterpiece for her upcoming concert. As she unpacked her belongings, she found an old dusty diary hidden beneath the floorboards. The diary belonged to a woman named Eliza, who had lived in the cabin many years ago. Its pages told a heart-wrenching tale of forbidden love and betrayal, ending tragically with Eliza's untimely death. Isabella became captivated by the story, and a strange melancholic melody began to play in her mind, as though the forest itself was whispering its sorrow. Over the next few nights, Isabella practiced the haunting melody on her violin, unable to resist its pull. As she played, she noticed strange phenomena occurring around her: flickering lights, cold gusts of air, and faint echoes of sobbing in the distance. Fear started to grip her, but the music's allure was too strong to resist. In the depths of the forest, Isabella encountered a spectral figure, Eliza's ghost. With tearful eyes, Eliza pleaded for release from the forest's grasp. Isabella realized that Eliza's soul was bound to the melody, and it had been calling out for someone to free her from the haunting cycle. Driven by empathy, Isabella made it her mission to uncover the truth behind Eliza's death and grant her the peace she sought. With the diary as her guide, Isabella retraced the steps of Eliza's tragic love affair. As she delved deeper into the forest's dark secrets, malevolent spirits began to torment her, seeking to prevent her from uncovering the truth. Isabella discovered that Eliza's lover had betrayed her, leading to her tragic end. The forest, fueled by her sorrow and anguish, had become a prison for her soul, perpetuating the haunting melody as a reminder of her unfulfilled love. The only way to break this cycle was to confront the person responsible for Eliza's death. Armed with courage and determination, Isabella confronted the descendant of Eliza's betrayer. She revealed the truth, forcing the descendant to confront the dark legacy of their ancestor. The forest seemed to respond to the resolution, as the haunting melody began to transform into a soothing, bittersweet symphony. In a poignant moment of release, Eliza's spirit ascended, finally finding peace. As her soul departed, the forest's malevolence dissipated, and Isabella was left with a sense of closure and inspiration. The haunting melody that once tormented her had transformed into a beautiful tribute to a tragic love story. Filled with a renewed sense of purpose, Isabella returned to her musical career. Her composition, The Haunting Melody, mesmerized audiences worldwide, evoking emotions and tears from those who listened. But deep in her heart, she knew that her encounter with the forest and the ghost of Eliza would forever remain with her, serving as a reminder of the fragile line between beauty and darkness in the world. The Howling Shadows. In the heart of the ancient forest stood the abandoned Hammett Mansion, a place notorious for its sinister past. Intrigued by the building's haunted reputation, a group of urban explorers, Mark, Lisa, Tom, and Maya, decided to venture into the forest to uncover the mysteries of the Hammett Mansion. Armed with flashlights and a sense of adventure, they made their way through the dense undergrowth. As they approached the mansion, they noticed its crumbling facade and broken windows, giving it a foreboding appearance. The air around the mansion seemed to grow colder, and the atmosphere became eerily quiet. Unperturbed, they entered the decaying structure. Inside, the explorers found remnants of the mansion's dark past, tattered portraits, dusty furniture, and remnants of occult rituals. The unsettling feeling in the air intensified with each step they took, as if the mansion itself was watching them. As night fell, they decided to set up camp in one of the rooms, eager to experience the full extent of the mansion's haunting. As darkness enveloped the forest, strange sounds echoed through the halls. An unsettling chill crawled up their spines, and inexplicable shadows danced on the walls. The group tried to laugh it off as their imaginations playing tricks, but they couldn't shake the feeling that they were not alone. Suddenly, a blood-curdling howl pierced the silence, sending shivers down their spines. The forest outside seemed to come alive with eerie sounds, the unmistakable growls of unseen creatures. The group huddled together, clutching their flashlights, as the mansion's haunted reputation proved all too real. Panicked, they realized that the forest harbored supernatural creatures that emerged only under the cover of darkness. These creatures, known as the Howling Shadows, were rumored to be spirits of ancient beings seeking revenge on intruders who dared disturb their resting place. As the night wore on, the Howling Shadows grew bolder, closing in on the terrified explorers. The group frantically searched for a way out but found all exits mysteriously sealed. Each time they turned a corner, more shadows appeared, surrounding them like a sinister trap. With the hours ticking away, the explorers were running out of options. The mansion's walls seemed to close in, and the haunting cries of the Howling Shadows resonated in their minds. Mark, the leader of the group, knew they needed to face their fears head-on to have any chance of survival. Mark recalled an old legend about the Howling Shadows, a tale of bravery and sacrifice. According to the legend, the spirits could only be appeased with an offering of light. Drawing upon their courage, the group decided to pool all their flashlights together and create a powerful beam of light. With shaking hands, they lit up the darkened room, and the Howling Shadows retreated. The group quickly realized that light was their only defense against the malevolent creatures. They kept their flashlights close, fending off the encroaching shadows as they moved towards the mansion's exit. In a harrowing race against time, they navigated through the dark forest, shadows chasing at their heels. But as the first rays of dawn appeared on the horizon, the Howling Shadows dispersed into nothingness, unable to withstand the coming of day. Exhausted but alive, the group emerged from the forest, grateful to have survived the nightmarish ordeal. They knew they had witnessed something beyond explanation, an encounter with forces that defied the laws of nature. The Hammett Mansion remained a place of fear and darkness, but the group's harrowing experience would forever bind them together. Their adventure into the forest had changed them, teaching them the importance of light in the darkest of times and the haunting consequences of meddling with the unknown. The Forgotten Shrine. Deep within the heart of an ancient forest, a forgotten shrine lay hidden under the dense canopy. It had remained undisturbed for centuries, holding the secrets of a long-lost civilization. Driven by curiosity and a thirst for knowledge, a team of archaeologists, Dr. Jackson, Dr. Carter, and their assistants, Mike and Emma, embarked on a journey to uncover the shrine's mysteries. As they navigated through the thick undergrowth, the forest seemed to grow eerily quiet, as if nature itself was holding its breath. The air became heavy with anticipation as they approached the shrine. Its stone carvings depicted strange symbols and figures, hinting at a forgotten civilization's esoteric rituals. As the team carefully documented their findings, Mike, driven by a desire for recognition, decided to tamper with the shrine. Ignoring Dr. Jackson's warnings, he removed an ancient artifact from its resting place, unleashing a powerful surge of energy that shook the ground beneath them. The earth seemed to come alive, and the forest quivered with an unseen force. The once tranquil forest now exuded an unsettling aura of hostility. Dr. Carter, a seasoned archaeologist, feared they had disturbed an ancient entity, one that had been slumbering undisturbed for millennia. As night fell, a pervasive darkness engulfed the forest. The team gathered around a campfire, their apprehension growing as they heard faint whispers and eerie laughter emanating from the shadows. They had awoken something they couldn't comprehend, and its presence loomed ominously over them. As the night wore on, the haunting intensified. Each member of the team began to experience vivid nightmares that blurred the lines between reality and the supernatural. They saw glimpses of the ancient civilization's rituals, of the entity that guarded the shrine, and of its wrathful vengeance against those who dared trespass. In their dreams, they were visited by an ethereal figure, the vengeful spirit itself. It demanded retribution for their intrusion into its sacred domain. The entity's chilling voice echoed in their minds, promising an eternal torment for awakening its wrath. Determined to rectify their mistake, the team delved deeper into the shrine's secrets, attempting to decipher the cryptic symbols and rituals. They discovered that the shrine had been dedicated to a powerful nature spirit that once protected the forest from harm. Realizing their intrusion had disrupted the delicate balance between the spirit and the forest, they devised a plan to appease the entity. They prepared an offering of respect and reverence, intending to return the artifact and seek forgiveness. As dawn approached, the team made their way back to the shrine, their hearts pounding with trepidation. The forest seemed to hold its breath as they laid the artifact back in its rightful place and conducted a ritual of restitution. As the offering was made, The forest fell silent, and the haunting whispers ceased. The vengeful entity appeared one final time, its ghostly form shimmering in the first light of dawn. The team humbled themselves, seeking forgiveness for their actions and expressing their admiration for the ancient spirit. In a breathtaking moment, the entity's visage softened, and its malevolence dissipated. It accepted their offering and, with a final whisper, returned to its slumber. The forest exhaled a sigh of relief as the supernatural tension evaporated into the morning mist. The ancient shrine seemed to radiate with a renewed sense of peace, as if the forest itself had acknowledged the team's act of contrition. Exhausted but triumphant, the archaeologists returned to their campsite. They knew they had witnessed a powerful entity, a guardian of the forest's ancient secrets. From that moment on, they approached their work with greater respect for the history and spirits that dwelled within. As the days passed, the team continued their exploration, carefully documenting the shrine's significance and uncovering the wisdom of the forgotten civilization. They reveled in their discoveries, grateful for the opportunity to learn from the past. With the shrine's secrets safely documented and its guardian appeased, the archaeologists made their way back through the forest, forever changed by their encounter. They carried with them a newfound appreciation for the delicate balance between human curiosity and the spirits of the past. The forgotten shrine remained undisturbed once again, its secrets protected by the watchful eyes of the forest spirits. And so, the ancient woods continued to stand, shrouded in mystery, awaiting the next generation of seekers who would venture forth in search of hidden truths. The Phantom Stalkers. In a lush, secluded forest, a group of adventurous hikers James, Emma, Ryan, and Lily set out on a thrilling journey to explore an abandoned cabin known as the Wraith's Haven. According to local legend, the cabin was cursed, haunted by vengeful spirits seeking revenge for past wrongdoings. Eager to test their courage, the group navigated through the dense underbrush. The forest was alive with the chirping of birds and the rustling of leaves, but an air of unease seemed to linger. Determined to uncover the cabin's secrets, they pressed on. As they approached Wraith's Haven, they were met with a chilling sight. The cabin stood in desolate disarray, its windows boarded up, and the doors barely hanging on their hinges. The forest seemed to fall silent, as if holding its breath, as the hikers stepped inside. Within the cabin, they discovered eerie markings on the walls, symbols of an ancient curse that warned trespassers of a malevolent presence. Emma, a skeptic at heart, dismissed the markings as mere folklore, while James, the brave-hearted one, was eager to face whatever lurked within. Night fell, and the group huddled together in front of a crackling fire. Around them, the forest seemed to come alive with the soft rustling of leaves and distant whispers carried by the wind. A feeling of being watched sent shivers down their spines, but they reassured each other that it was simply their imagination playing tricks. However, as the night wore on, the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. Strange shadows danced on the walls, and disembodied voices echoed through the cabin. They tried to laugh off their unease, but each member of the group felt an inexplicable dread. Their attempts to sleep were in vain, as nightmares plagued their slumber. Lily dreamed of ghostly apparitions floating through the cabin, while Ryan found himself trapped in a never-ending labyrinth of dark corridors. Emma, once the skeptic, was visited by a menacing spirit that whispered threats in her ear. Morning brought little respite, as the group found themselves being stalked by an unseen presence. It seemed as though the malevolent spirits from the forest had taken a keen interest in their presence, tormenting them at every turn. Determined to escape the forest's clutches, the hikers decided to follow an old map they discovered inside the cabin. The map promised a way out through a hidden path deep within the forest. Clutching their backpacks tightly, they trekked deeper into the woods, hoping to outwit the Phantom Stalkers. However, the forest was not eager to let them leave. The path they followed twisted and turned, leading them in circles and back to Wraith's Haven. panic set in as they realized they were trapped in a never-ending loop, unable to escape the forest's malevolent grasp. James, ever the optimist, suggested a desperate plan. They needed to face their fears head-on and confront the spirits haunting the cabin. Armed with bravery and makeshift charms, they returned to Wraith's Haven. Inside the cabin, the atmosphere was charged with a sinister energy. The haunting grew more intense as the spirits materialized before them. The Phantom Stalkers sought to instill fear in their hearts, to feed on their terror, and trap them within the forest forever. But the hikers were not alone. United in their determination to survive, they chanted ancient incantations they had found in an old journal. As they did so, the spirits wailed and recoiled, weakened by the powerful words. In a climactic moment, the hikers used a talisman they had crafted from the markings in the cabin to break the ancient curse. The forest quivered, and the spirits retreated into the shadows. As the dawn broke, the group emerged from the forest, their spirits uplifted with a sense of triumph. They had faced the darkest terrors and emerged stronger for it. The haunting of Wraith's Haven had been quelled, and the forest's ancient secrets remained protected once again. As they bid farewell to the forest, the hikers knew they had experienced something extraordinary. They had uncovered the chilling truth behind the legend of Wraith's Haven, and in doing so, had forged an unbreakable bond that would forever connect them to the mysterious woods. And with that, we've reached the end of the 5 horror stories set in the haunting forest. Each tale took us on a thrilling journey through darkness and fear, revealing the haunting secrets that lie hidden within the depths of the forest. Whether it's malevolent creatures, vengeful spirits, or forgotten mysteries, the forest remains an enigmatic place filled with terror and wonder.